Hello, friends. It's your brother Dennis. I want to take some time to share one of my favorite stories out of the Bible with you. I'm going to start every one of these like that because they're all great stories. In my devotional time, I was reading out of Nehemiah. I continually go back to the book of Nehemiah, just many parallels to my own life that I see there. I'll get into some of that here. So if you don't know the story of Nehemiah, he's a post-exile prophet. The Israelites had made their way back to their homeland by now and had been there over 100 years. The problem is that while the temple had been rebuilt, the wall around the temple had not been rebuilt yet. And many of the people, the Jewish people, instead of settling in their homeland where they should have, had begun to disperse out. There's many political and geographical reasons for this to have taken place. I think what's implied generally by the book of Nehemiah is just the general laziness and kind of just allowing yourself to settle type spirit that they were in. And I start to say Nehemiah had found himself as the highest official under King Artaxerxes, Artaxerxes, Artaxerxes? You take a shot at it. Saying that again, though, God, as it turns out, had risen Nehemiah in that king's court as a high official so that he would have the power to do the thing that God needed him to do, which is boom, in the book of Nehemiah. And so he gets in. News gets to him that the walls of the city lay in ruins and that the people are just languishing, basically. And Nehemiah is greatly troubled by this. So he goes to the king at the risk of his life, because he has duties where he is. He can't just, by the way, can I have some time off to go, take care of a nation that could possibly rise up against you? But he goes anyway, and he's good for another thing that Nehemiah is good for that is also in my own devotional life to God is these arrow prayers. He knows I got to go in and talk to the guy. Boom, let me stop real quick and whisper, fill up a prayer real quick before I go do this thing. I do that all the time. So what I want to do, so he goes, he sees the wall in ruins. He's overcome, and so then he starts lighting a fire under people. And, of course, they get motivated and then begin to work on the wall. But here's the thing. This is a massive task because it's a big, wide area. There are neighbors now who are like, wait, you guys think you're going to rebuild, who want to come and try to violent skirmishes, trying to attack them here and there, test their weaknesses? There are political things going on, like taxes. People are being overtaxed by their own people and by generally people around the land. This wall, if you want to look at, again, what I say, sound biblical interpretation has nothing to do with what does this mean to me today. When you read anything you read in the scriptures, the proper approach is to put yourself in the mind of what did this mean to the people, how were the people, the time that these things were written, how were they impacted? And then that is the safe thing to extract for us today. So if you want to look for a current kind of application for this and how it's, kind of the epiphany I had that I'm sharing out of my devotional time today, you could interpret this wall and the building of this wall, if you want to think of Jerusalem as the temple, the wall being the boundaries, okay? And so your boundaries, the boundary, you have to have boundaries. You have to let people know this is the way that I expect to be treated and I will not settle for less than this thing. What you're willing to deal with people. And I'll tell you, people are going to beat on those boundaries as frequently as they can, and you just got to figure out how to put them up there. This could also be interpreted as some work that you feel like God has you trying to accomplish, and if you are meeting just crazy opposition during that work, this may speak to you also. I actually want to read this little portion of Scripture as I bring this to a close. This is my street book. This is the Bible that I carry around with me. It's in my car. If I know I'm going somewhere to talk to somebody, I always keep a pencil in it. All my sermon notes, my little post-it notes in it. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah real quick. This is Nehemiah chapter 4. I'm just going to briefly read to you 16 and 17, because what I hate when I go see somebody speak is that they sit there and blah, 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 read you like 10 verses. Never look at you, never have eye contact. If you're that kind of preacher, stop it. Do a couple and then talk to your people again. Listen to me. Verse 16, Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 16. You can see it for yourself. I'm going to reason lie to you. From that day on, half of my men did the work, while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armor. The officers posted themselves behind all the people of Judah who were building the wall. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. Let me tell you, friends, your life feel like everything you're doing, it's like there's a giant finger in the universe that's going, oh, there you are. It's your turn. Boom, suffering, boom, financial hardship, boom. Here's some stuff you weren't expecting. I am in right now probably the most horrific period of trial my life has ever produced. And this one isn't by any dumb thing that I've done or said. But as I'm trying to rebuild, as I'm trying to find God in the situation, Nehemiah spoke to me today many preachers have said it before, and I'll reiterate. If you are experiencing some kind of opposition in a thing that you know in your heart you're supposed to be doing, you're probably doing the right thing. And you're probably headed in the right direction. In fact, you are probably right where God needs you to be. Learn to sit with it. This is the most important lesson my dad taught me before he was taken from me. Learn to sit with it when you don't know what to do. And you can only make decisions based on the information you currently have, right? Sit with it, wait, see what presents itself. And I hope this short message finds you happy and healthy, and be blessed by God. I love you if nobody else has said it.